infinite game, which means you can't win. The only way to lose, to say it that way, is if you quit. So we're going to talk about it. But first, you know what I got to do? I got to bring in the Zoom. So here we go. Bringing in the Zoom. Bringing in the Zoom. Okay. Well, good morning, good evening. What it do? How are you? Hootie hoo. Happy Tuesday too. I am the sound of money in your ear. Dollar Avant. That's still double O. I'm often imitated, never duplicated. They call me the $1 billion babe, aka the pitch queen, aka the people's coach, aka Coach Dollar Bill. And you are in the dollhouse. This is the home of the OGs. Why? Because over here we are getting off the financial grid. Nobody has time. I mean, I do my best, y'all. I do my best. I don't want to be talking about Trump and what he got going on. But listen, we're threatening civilizations now. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. So there's no better time than right now to stay focused and get our whole financial life together, get our business together, and go head on. You need to be living in a place that you control, a place that is stable. You need to have some food, some water, and some energy, resources that you control. I mean, get a generator. You know what I'm saying? Get you some. I'm not doing that today. We're just going to keep going. But yeah, we want to get stable because there's a lot going on. So what I was saying before is in an infinite game, there are no winners and losers. The only what you have is players and quitters. So the only way you lose in an infinite game is if you stop rolling the dice. And I know it's die, but we don't talk like that. So I'm going to say dice. Okay. And let's just think about the fact that this is a game for just a minute, because my job is to really reprogram our thinking when it comes to business and what's possible and all of that. And we're no longer sitting around waiting on somebody to come and give us anything. We're no longer sitting around, hoping for an investor and all this kind of stuff. We are going to go out here, talk to humans, learn how to turn those human interactions into transactions, and then build a system that does that all the time. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. So I gave you guys a very, very specific framework, a very, very challenging, I hope, exercise yesterday to be able to speak about your work, what you do in a way that is crystal clear, because that clarity is going to lead to connection and confidence, because you won't be nervous about what you're going to say and thinking about, is somebody going to pay you and all of that. No, we're sending out a very strong signal. We want our people to find us, our people to find us. And then we just have a community where they get to hang out and they feel like they want to feel, and they have a shared experience with other people who have found us. And then we bring in more people. Like, that's it. That's a business. That's it. So imagine you were playing a game, a board game or whatever, and you know how we roll the dice, and you have one that's like 20-sided. But then somebody else in the game has one that's like 200 sides. So one is green and everything else is red. Okay. Green is like good. Okay. Green is like go. And red means nothing happened. You just get to go again. But if we get all green or more green than red, we win the game. We make some money. Let's just go with my example. Okay. Now, it's an infinite game because why? You could just roll it again, do it again, do it again. So somebody with if you roll enough times, I don't care what you're doing, you just keep rolling this thing, you're gonna get your green in there. Okay. But if you quit, you won't get your green. That's what the game of business is. Okay. So I'm not here to tell you some motivational stuff. I don't do that. I'm not here to don't give up and persevere. No. Because some of us need to quit, not the game of entrepreneurship, but the one that you thought you were building, the offer that you thought you were making. That's nobody asked for that. You know what I'm saying? You got to give people what they got to give the people what they want. If you give them what they actually want in language that they would have spoken themselves, they will pay you. So if you're talking to people, it's either you're not talking to the people, you're not talking to the right people, or you're not saying it the way they need to hear it. Because if you do those three things, they're going to pay you some money. Okay, that's just how that goes. So now it's day 97. We got a few more days of this. I don't know if I'm taking a break or not, but I'll know by Friday. Okay. So listen, this is an infinite game. The game of business, the game of content, the game of how you're building these relationships with humans, because business is just relationships with numbers. You don't know how many times you got to go out here and do it. How many conversations do you have to have? How many times you have to roll this dice? You can't compare that to somebody else and where they are in their journey as an entrepreneur. Because you don't know. You don't know who, you don't know. People be cheating and lying and do all types of stuff. You don't know. So you can't compare that to somebody else. You have to just keep showing up and doing the thing. Now, the good thing about being in the dollhouse, having the roadmap and all of that is you're not just guessing. You're not just throwing in the wind and hoping something sticks. No, we have a framework, a format. We know this is how it's going to work. How do we know? Where do we get these frameworks from? Neuroscience, quantum physics. It's the natural order of things. I'm studying people who are millionaires and billionaires. I'm coming back and tell you I did it myself. It works. I know it works. Y'all be like, oh, it worked. Of course it works. It works. Okay. 5-star pitch is going to work. When you talk like this, it's going to work. When you start moving differently, people are going to move differently. This is how the game goes. This is how you play the game. Okay. So I have no desire to motivate you, to inspire you, do all that. No, we got better stuff to do. I don't want you to be worried about mindset and stuff like that. I need you to have the mechanics of why it works. So when you don't feel like it, you still know that this is how your human brain is designed to function. And so is the brain of all of those who are listening to you. So if you show up in a way that starts firing all the neurons in their brain, the mirror neurons, you're going to make a connection. Connection is the birthplace of all currency. So we take the guesswork out of this. If you put the flour and you put the liquid and you do the thing and you put it in a bowl and boop, 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 you go in the oven at 350 at 45 minutes, you're going to have some form of bread or cake. So what are we talking about? I'm not sure what I'm going to get. I just told you the recipe. This is what you're going to get. Do it like this. This is what you're going to get. So if you're not getting that, what are you not putting in the cake? Because I'm giving you the recipe. Okay, so let us bring this proper mentality around. It's not based on how we feel. It's not based on luck. It's not based on got to know somebody and got to be somebody and got to chase people down and all that kind of stuff. It's a very specific sequence and order that will make the economics of your business continue to compound instead of plateauing or crashing out. Most people plateau and crash out. They do a little bit of business and then they don't make no money, and they make some money for a month and then they're down for 2 weeks, and then it's never stable because they're not doing the entire recipe. So this is what I want you to have by the time we finish talking today: the exact mindset, mechanics, all the things that you could be looking at as you're playing this game, using all the frameworks and tools that I'll share with you guys, so you will know, as long as I'm showing up and all these things are in place, of course it's going to work. It's already working. And I don't want you to have to struggle and hustle and still be searching for money when whatever they're going to do this year, because it hasn't even got bad yet. Whatever's going to happen in 2026. I don't want you out here, I don't know what we're going to do. And, oh my God, I've been telling y'all for 2 years, just get you somewhere to live that you control. Food, water, and a generator. And do not have all your money in the Bank of America. Have some money another way. And you're going to be all right. Go for it, LaTanja.
I just wanted to know when we would have time to share from what we worked on. Who do you help in all of the transformations? Do we need to do that later in the talk today?
Yes, I should be able to get to that about 2:45. That is my plan.
Awesome.
That is my plan.
I'm excited.
Yes, I want us to go into that because it's so powerful. It's so powerful. So okay. I'm excited that you had that.
Thank you.
Okay, so y'all, we've been doing the 3 sentences. We got the offer stack We know how to do the bonus. Like, we talked about all of this. It's a lot. I know. All these individual tools, all the way down to that one sentence that can describe your offer and who you serve that we worked on yesterday. If we put it in the right order, this is like a model, like a business model, like the engine I keep talking about, that money's gonna always come through. People meet you at the front of this thing, they go through these steps that you built for them, transactions come out the other side. And if you're doing it right, community will come out on the other side. So not only do they buy from you, but they become repeat customers and they tell other people about you. Okay. If you get this right, the business will start working for you. You could float. You don't have to be nervous. You'll have enough money to go and stock up your pantry and buy a generator or whatever you need to do. Get a new truck or whatever. Okay. So this is my promise to you. We're going to at least have a sketch of what this looks like when you put it all together by the time I finish talking today. Because we're almost at the end of the 100-day challenge. And again, I don't know. People keep asking me, please don't stop. But I'm like, well, if you do what it took for me to do this every day, I don't know, but we'll see. Now, I don't know if anybody on this call right now, but I know some people in the dollhouse used to play sports. Like, seriously, had a coach, might have played in college, stuff like that. You had to wear a uniform, you knew what number you were and all that kind of stuff. You were showing up 5 a.m. in the gym and all that type of thing. Doing your workout, change your diet. You lived and breathed this sport. And if not, you know somebody who did. Okay. Same thing applies to like people who are artists, who are serious about their craft, people, musicians or whatever. They don't play. They show up and practice it, do it again, do it again, do it again. You might lose some talent shows. You might lose the championship. You started from the bench, got cut, came back, made it to varsity. You're doing all of this. But now when it comes to being an entrepreneur, we don't want to be outside. We had to learn how to dance on stage and sing on stage, or go out to the court or to the field and mess up and make mistakes and learn our sport in front of all these people. But now we don't want to be seen. We don't want to post videos and stuff like that. So I hope that we've worked through some of that through this 100-day challenge. But those of you who've accomplished anything in the past, if you used to perform, you used to sing, you used to do the thing in front of your family members, whatever you used to do, you used to run big departments in corporation and all this kind of stuff. We did all of that. So we got to bring that same energy to starting this engine. It won't be a heavy lift forever. It's just at the beginning. When you have an idea, you're like, oh, I should show up for my audience like this. Oh, I should do that. No, you actually have to do it. And the gap between, I had this idea, I know it's going to work because I'm listening, I'm learning all this stuff, and actually doing it, that's the uncomfortable part. And that's because your nervous system is not used to this yet. That's all. It's not really even harder. It's not like a hard thing. It's just unfamiliar. So your brain is designed to think anything unfamiliar is possibly dangerous. That's like survival, right? So it's like, I don't know about this. I'm not used to this. It's not what I do. Okay. But my former athletes or performers or former corporate superstars in this group, when you fail, when you used to mess up, you get on stage, you go to the talent show, you totally missed your note, you totally forgot the choreography, whatever happened, you dropped the pass. It's just practice. That's just the coach going to be like, what are you doing? And then the next time you do it better. And you do it again. It's a part of you becoming this version of yourself that makes it to the state championship or whatever. Okay, so making phone calls, making content, posting. When you got 3 people on the page, going to a networking event with intentionality and being intentional about how you introduce yourself, not just showing up and hanging out in the back and eat the little meatballs on the side and dapping people up and then sneak out the back door. Taking over the room, sending an email if you're not sure. All of that is practice. So we got to bring the same mindset into our entrepreneurship game, if you will. We got to run these drills. It's like, okay, do it again. Okay, wait a bit. Okay, let me get my clarity. Okay, do it again. Why? Because this is how we get better. This is how you get on a call like I did yesterday, right after I got off of this. And, just casually talking. I don't know this man from Adam. I was introduced to him by somebody in my Harvard network. 15 minutes later, not 20, 15. He's like, oh, I would like to be on your board. I want to introduce you to all these people. Next time you're out west, I need you to come through, bring your team. He's calling, making international phone calls on my behalf for a $200 million deal. And I'm just talking like I'm talking to y'all. Because I've done so many reps. I do this for real. I speak, it's clear. The clarity's there. I don't sound like anybody else in the world. He works in water, but nobody talking like this. Oh, you need to talk to this person. Oh, let me call over here. Oh, have you tried this? What about this? I'm able to say what I know and what I don't know. This is what I know. This is what we got going on. Now I'm asking you, I was introduced to you because they said, all the people in the world who do what I'm trying to do. It's not that many. So here's what I'm doing. He asked me a few questions. I answered those questions. He got through. He was like, let's rock. Because I do the reps. Now, if you go into a meeting and you don't have clarity and you're thinking about, oh my God, this is so much money at stake. No, it's not. There's no shortage of money in the world. It's not. There's a shortage of clarity in the world. Knowing how to speak. Because if you don't know the people that you need to talk to make your product, service, or solution scale, you can find them. We are 6 degrees of separation from everybody. I'm probably 2 phone calls away from most people. You can find them. But if you don't have clarity when you speak, people kind of eyes glaze over and they just, it's too much. There's too much noise out here. You have to be out of 11 million things that hit somebody's brain in a second. What you do, what you say, your content, how you show up, all the things has to be one of the 40 things that gets their attention. 40 bits of information out of 11 million. So we need top 0.001% outcomes. Perpetual prosperity requires precision. So if you want your money to be precisely flowing and precisely hitting your bank account, I love it for us, those of us who are willing to do this work and be just as precise about how we talk about our work or how we show up. Okay, so that's why we keep do it again. We're not going to ever stop doing that. Okay, now, again, think about rolling the dice. If you're playing, Monopoly or something like that. And I just use this example, okay? Because entrepreneurship is an infinite game. That means what I used to say, you're unstoppable as long as you don't stop. Okay? So we do it again. We do it again. We do it again. And we do it again. Because what most people do is they quit. They get tired, they get frustrated, they don't know what's going on. They get bad advice, whatever the reason, and they quit. But the only way to lose at this game is if you quit. And not compare yourself. Do not compare yourself to people who are 1,000 rolls of the dice ahead of you, who've got all these reps and you just got here now, who've been doing the work and talking to humans, and they've built a huge community of people who know who they are, and you haven't done that because you don't want to be on social media. You can't compare the two. It's not equivalent. So when you understand the game and you focus on the right thing, none of that actually matters. It doesn't matter. You stop counting. Okay, how long do I have to do this? How many times I gotta, okay, I've just already worked on my offer. Now I'm gonna do it again. Like all of that. Once you get out of that mindset and you stay in the car, we driving to LA from Atlanta, and don't jump out the car. How about that? If you don't get out the car, you keep going west, you will end up in California. Okay. So the more times you do this, the more times you do the work, the more times you perfect and clarify your offer, the more times you go and talk to somebody, the more times you make it easy for more people to find you, The more times you make sure you got something in your content and your archive and your body of work and all the stuff that we do, then every time you hit the button to send out your email newsletter and all of that, you're adding more information to the fabric that is your business, your intellectual property. Every time you roll this dice, you get better. Okay, if you have a conversation and it doesn't go well, you learn something. Okay, let me see what I need to do differently. Maybe I'm talking to the wrong kind of person, or maybe I wasn't clear that day. Maybe I was off point. I do need to practice my pitch every day, because if I'm not in a good emotional state, like I just don't do well. So I need to practice more. Right? Every time something goes well in a conversation, you're like, okay, I know this is working. Let's bake that in. Let's make sure every time that's in there. You know what I'm saying? So the things, when you roll the dice, when you do it again and try all the stuff, and like I said, Latanya said we're gonna go over what we worked on yesterday, because I'm listening for that clarity. I know the sound. When I tell y'all I hear the sound of money, and I get excited, and y'all be like, well, I didn't hear it, but because I know you're gonna forget, because it didn't come from here, it came from here. And then you'll be like, I don't know what I said. I'm like, okay, you have to know what you said, because you want to make money all the time, not just that one time when you were on the island at the yacht party, and you were just talking because you didn't even care. You were detached, and whoever you were talking to, and they just loved what you said. It was amazing, but you couldn't replicate that if you wanted to. We can't. That's not sustainable. Okay, so the more we do the things and get precise with what we're doing, that's an education, that is a training that you can't buy. And you can't skip it. You can only get this to this level of mastery. We're on the part of mastery by continuing to roll the dice. So if you quit, you lose. Not if you try something and it doesn't work. No. If you quit showing up, quit, going for the clarity, quit, listening to your intuition and all that kind of stuff. Quit, you had an idea 6 months ago for what you need to implement in your business, and you didn't do it because life be lifing. Only when you quit, only when you stop showing up, that's when you lose. Because this is an infinite game. Entrepreneurship is a quantum system. There are infinite ways for you to achieve what you're trying to achieve, 10, 20,000 a month, whatever you're trying to do. There's like 1,000 different versions of how that can happen. So there are no winners, there are no losers. You're either playing the game or you're quitting. That's a different level of confidence if you understand the game, versus thinking you're competing with somebody in your field. No, you're not. Okay, so this is not motivation. Again, these are mechanics for how it actually works. People who get wealthy doing this are not the ones who had the best idea coming out the gate, or the most talent coming out the gate on day one. People who get wealthy as an entrepreneur are those who continue to roll the dice. And again, you have found your way to the dollhouse. So you're not just throwing up against a wall hoping something sticks. You actually know the framework, the formula. I'm telling you exactly how it works. I'm giving you the actual recipe. It's not just, oh, that was nice. Oh, today we're going to talk about paprika. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how to julienne vegetables. Then the next day I'm going to teach you how to use a food processor. Then the next day, we're going to learn about sauce, all different kinds of sauce. And then we're going to learn about the different cuts of steak and meat. And then we're going to learn about mushrooms. Like, what am I going to cook with all of these random ingredients? That's how they treat y'all in entrepreneurship programs. They're like business model canvas, business plan, and here's your financials, and here's your projections, and you heard something about a sales funnel, and oh, I need this, and oh, it's just all these random ingredients and techniques that they're throwing at you, and tactics. I'm giving you the recipe. This is how it works. This is why it works. You don't have to believe me. This is how your human brain is set up. If you do it like this is going to happen. So if you keep going with the recipe, you will get wealthy doing this work. Okay? You have to have the tolerance and the motivation and the consistency to keep showing up and do it again. When life be life, do it again. When, oh, I had to move, do it again. Oh, this happened, do it again. Learn from what doesn't work. Get 1% better every day. Okay, that didn't work. Let me see. Let me ask somebody. Call somebody who's been where you're trying to go and get some support. Don't ask people who've never done what you're doing how to do what you're doing because they don't know. They will lie to you, tell you that they know, but they don't know. Okay? So nobody who's succeeding and doing well in your industry, they weren't born this way. They are succeeding because they have rolled the dice more times than you. With the proper models, the proper training, the proper constraints. It's not just any energy, not any just wake up, do whatever. No, but if you're doing it according to some constraints, that's what I'm giving you guys. Frameworks, tools, constraints. Okay, build it like this. Okay, I got it. I got the shape of it. I know what goes in it. Okay, now if you get in there and do it again, and get that precision, it's going to work. Every day that you choose not to do, the big five and not to do all the stuff that I'm giving you every day, that's just one day longer. That's one less roll of the dice. That's one less, education. That's one less, cadence, rotation, piece of repetition to get better. It's not about your intelligence. It's not about luck. It's not about who they know. They always say, oh, it's who you know. No, it's not. Because I'm telling you that there is an energetic field. And every time you show up and do this work, you're planting a seed in that field. Somebody could be on the other side of the world and you end up meeting them because you're in this energy and you're doing this work every day. Every day, every day. It is magnetic. Specificity, precision is magnetic. It will bring to you whatever it is that you are aiming to acquire in your life. I didn't do it. This is neuroscience. There's a whole set of thoughts, and your email inbox will look different and your phone will ring differently when you show up like this. Because why? You don't get what you want. That's a 3D. You get who you are as 4D. Now, you want me to lie to you? You want me to tell you? I don't know what you want me to tell you. This is how it works. So I need you to believe that and hold that energy long enough to start to see it work in your life. So when we go through an exercise like we did yesterday, that is so detailed, it's so specific, and y'all are hearing the difference, and it's like, wait a minute, I already had my thing. We're going deeper. Well, I already been saying it this way. Let's get more clarity on it. And your choice to be like, oh, I don't have to do all of that. Versus, I'm going in on this. Because I do hear a difference and I do see what she's saying. And I don't know. You can't read a book about how to cook or how to drive a car or how to play basketball and know how to do that. There's a knowing that comes from experience that can't be given to you any other way. This is why little children, when they are born, before we go send them to school, they've already learned most of what they need to know by the time they're age 7. Before we sit up in the classroom and look at the chalkboard and do all that, how do we learn how to be humans, how to talk, how to have emotions, how to get dressed, how to feed ourselves? We learn by osmosis. How to walk, we learn by being around other humans who are doing the things. We don't sit in a classroom and take notes about how to tie our shoes. So everything that I'm giving you guys is taking you right up to the edge. I can take you as far as I can take you. And then I need you to go and do it. Like, do it and do it again and do it again. And implement it and embody it. Don't just have it in your notebook and then 3 weeks later, well, what did dog say? Well, you got to do it every day until it becomes a part of you. Those are the reps that are going to get you down the road faster. Because your intuition been talking. That's how you got here. Intuition is like, oh, that's exactly what I need. Facts. But then life comes and you don't go in your notebook for 4 weeks and then you forgot. So you're actually at a lower point than you would have been had you just kept doing the thing every day. So where are you in the game? You need more, you need to roll the dice more. That's what I'm saying. You need to just do some more reps. It's going to pay off. But people who stop early, people who just listen, people who just come here for entertainment, people who do all of that, and they take notes and they go somewhere and they never look at it. Where is the part in your notebook? Where is your calendar? Your appointment with yourself? to work on any of the 5-10 exercises that I've given us over the past week or so? When is your moment to just work on, the dollhouse things, or work on, precision, or your 5-star pitch, or whatever? If it's not on your calendar, I want you to put it on your calendar.
So I feel like for me, there's I wouldn't say juggling. I just have different priorities at different times, depending on deadlines and clients, as well as my own work. So I've found that doing a little bit each day helps me. Like yesterday, I did my Substack article and kind of planned out my week and how I was basically using this one idea from this lesson that I've got, and how do I extend it out to the whole week in different platforms and use it in different ways, basically. Is my strategy for this week. And that's a different strategy than what I've been using, but it feels a little more, I don't know what the word is, but it feels like a calmer way to do it.
Yeah, I like it.
If that makes sense.
I do. And I would tell you what's going to happen, because that sounds more aligned with kind of how you think anyway. So if you have like a theme or a lesson, let's say for the week.
Right.
And what you're doing now is figuring out how to divide it up, chop it up, put it on different platforms, like you said, and having that call to action. And where do they go after that? Like you're trying to like put all these pieces together. But 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, you'll have some of that down to a little system.
Yes.
Right. You'll have a list of, okay, here are all my ideas, for stuff I could talk to my community about. Right. And then it'll be like, this is how I pull that out and turn it into a Substack. And then here's how and boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And that'll be systematized.
Okay. That makes sense.
And so that's kind of why I'm preaching this sermon today. It's just because that uncomfortable first part when you're like, okay, what is going on? I just came back from the grocery store. I got all these ingredients. Okay, hold on. There's no order in the kitchen, right? You got to put spices where the spices go, put the recipe in. Okay, I know this comes first and then this and this. It doesn't feel like a 12-year-old cooking a 7-course meal is going to be a disaster. She's going to be freaking out. It's too much, right? But you cooking a meal for your family on a random weeknight is not a big deal because you know how to boop, 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 boop.
Right.
Yeah. And so we're building towards the bloop, 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 basically.
Right. I feel like I've been, I guess, the 12-year-old
it's just new. All of this is new for us, and it's okay. And so just that's why I'm talking today. It's like, don't judge yourself. Don't do all that. Just roll the dice. Just do it again. If something resonates with you, it's like, I need to incorporate that. Just make it somewhere on your schedule once a week or something. Just have some time to work on it or to look at it or review it or meditate on it or research it or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then over time, you'll be able to incorporate it better.
Yeah. The calendar and having everything written down, it has been so helpful for me because I need to see things in order to remind myself or to, keep it in the forefront of my mind.
Exactly.
Okay, this is next. And,
exactly.
I have been pushing off my videos because that just seems like such a big task. Even though I know I need to start and just do it.
Yeah.
That is a bigger piece that I've been struggling a little bit with, of like talking myself into it. It's like, okay, but I have other priorities too. So I'm just trying to find, like I said, I used a lesson from something I learned last week for this week. So I'm trying not to be hard on myself because I'm not doing it the way I was.
Yeah.
But also I need to try different ways to figure out what resonates more with people.
Absolutely.
So I got a like on one of my Substack articles,
Let's
the one
go.
that I wrote like a story, like kind of breaking it down. So I think I'm going to incorporate that more.
Yes.
Into my Substack. Because I guess people like to hear a story. And
people love a good story. They do. It's a beautiful thing. This is all I'm saying. Let's get comfortable in the discomfort, right? It's like, okay, I've been saying that my meals are horrible. And then I went to cooking school and they told me my meals are horrible because I'm not starting with the, what is it, the Holy Trinity. You know, you got to put the garlic, onions, and whatever in the bell peppers, whatever. In the beginning of most meals, that's what they're actually doing. And they saute it down, and then that's going to make a different flavor profile versus I remember my friends from college, the guys would call me, do I have a can of tuna? Do I need to cook this? Like, it was just horrible. You know, like, remember the first time you maybe tried to bake some chicken or something? And it's like, okay, chicken sauce. Like, and it's like, why doesn't it taste good? Why does it look like this? Why does it look beige and awful? You know, and we learn how to put all the other ingredients in there. When we start out, it might feel weird and uncomfortable, but just follow the recipe and find some time to work on the different parts of it that I don't know how to do that, but let me practice that. I'll get better at that. And just keep adding, and you'll be shocked. You'll look back and you're like, wow, I'm doing things that I couldn't do before. I'm showing up in ways I couldn't show up for. I know how to talk to people in a way that I didn't before. Like, these things just happen. If you trust that this is an infinite game, it's a quantum system, the little things that you think, oh, that's not relevant, it is. Those little things are going to affect a big outcome later, because
I feel like
entrepreneurship is a quantum
talking to
system.
people,
Yeah.
that definitely was a game changer, because I used to, be social all the time.
Mhm.
And then 2020, and then all stuff happened, and I felt like I was so awkward
Mhm.
after that, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why
Yep.
can't I conversate like I used to, and not be so stressed about it?
Mhm.
But like you said, practice helps, and
Yes.
I'm actually excited about going out to volunteer and meet some new people, and talk to this lady that I met on Saturday, more about her business and mine too. So yeah, it's exciting, because this is the fourth person I've met within that community. So I'm just going with an open heart, and just
Yep.
seeing what happens.
And you know what's good? That means it's working. Number one, that means you have more data. You can see more patterns in what it is and who it is and how they respond and all of that. But it also is going to compound, because if they're in that same circle or community, your story is going to start, being in rooms where you're not there. Because I met this person, I met her too. Well, I know her. Oh, such and such. Like, that's what happens when you keep showing up.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So these are exciting times, y'all. But I have to convince you of that, because I know it feels so weird and awkward in the early stages. So there are three benefits to the fact that maybe you're not as well known in your industry as you want to be yet, or maybe I used to be outside and now something happened and now I got to turn around and turn back up again. First things first, you actually have nothing to lose right now. You have unlimited upside. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're known for this certain thing and you got to hold up to a certain standard. We don't know. It's fine. So you really have unlimited upside. Early stage. We haven't built the empire yet. You can't lose what you don't have. So if you take a shot, you miss a shot, do it again. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, the pressure is different now. This is just for you. You're doing something for you. And you have all this upside every time you try something, every time you explore, oh, this worked, this didn't work. I don't know about this, but this I like, it's all about you right now. This is the greatest place to be. People who are down the roadmap, way down step 7, 8, 9 on the roadmap, they got shareholders, employees, they got a brand reputation, they got overhead, operational debt. They have a lot to lose every time they make a decision. You don't really have to deal with all of that right now, which means you can move faster, you can test more, you can experiment with different things, change direction, being very agile. Okay, we were doing it like this last week. This week, we're going to do it like this. You could do that. Somebody 6 months or 2 years down the road with 22 employees can't do that so fast. They had to have a whole committee meeting to do what you could do. So it's really to our benefit to be here. Go for it, Asia.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I just wanted to say that this past week and a half or so, I've been kind of in and out on the Zooms because I've been really focusing. and just kind of honing in on my skills and my weaknesses and just tightening up my schedule overall and just doing the things that I need to do. So I've kind of been putting my head in the sand and just working. And I'll say that I have a lot more clarity now. I think the last time I spoke on how I was feeling, I wasn't feeling great. And yeah, I feel a lot better. I've been able to not only, keep to my schedule, but not beat myself up when I don't make something happen that day. But I just have you in mind, of course, always, and just like move it to the next thing. I just keep a schedule with myself. I put it on the calendar for the next time, and I just keep moving. And my posts have been getting, like good engagement, and I've been getting a lot more interaction with people where they're like, "Oh, let me set you up with this person. I thought of you when I saw this," and so it's like people are, like, I guess it's network effect. If that's the right step, yeah. So I'm getting a lot more network effect, and I don't know if that's based on the posting or just the traction that's happening.
Well, it's all of the above. It's all of the above.
Yeah.
It compounds. It really does.
Yeah.
And you shifted energetically. I mean, you're in a different energy field than before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
I love
and just feeling a lot better in the space that I am, and looking forward to the growth. And I just get a lot of positive feedback. So it feels really good, and knowing that I'm going in the right direction, and my ministry is where, I want it to be right now.
Man, that's so good. I love all these moments of feedback, y'all. It means a lot to me. So I'm excited to hear that. And I'm glad you're up. Keep your energy up. A lot of us, we get overwhelmed in a way. It's just like, oh, I have this to do, this to do, this to do. And so my job today is to flip our thinking around all of that, right? So let's say, I mean, I know you're on Instagram, but this is for anybody. So I'm just using this example. Let's say you posting Instagram, and then all of a sudden your biggest competitor, here she come. Now she on Instagram. Our normal old school mind would be like, oh man, now I only have half of the market's attention because 2 more competitors come, and now I'm spiraling out, talking about it's too saturated and all of that. But that's actually an illusion. And it's dangerous because you're not limited to one platform. You're not limited to one way of somebody reaching you, hearing about you, making a connection with you and your work and your brand and your content. There are infinite ways, honestly, for you to have enough customers and enough transactions to make enough money to, make 6 figures or 7 figures in your business, whatever your goal is. There's a whole universe of ways that your ideal customers can be reached. Warm outreach, cold outreach, partnerships, collaborations, short form content, long form content, podcast periods. You can speak at events, referral, all type of stuff. Email campaigns, building community, having events, commenting on other people's. All of these are ways. These are seeds. These are channels. These are touch points in the energetic field. You're not limited to what you can see. So when somebody calls you and they say, I was thinking about you the other day. Where did that come from? I saw this article and I thought about you. Why? It's in the energetic field. So when you're rolling the dice every day, you remember our chart, the 3D is what you can see. The 4D is where you live. When you're doing the thing every day, okay, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to give myself 30 minutes and 15 minutes. I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to go in here, and I might not be able to do all my content ideas, but this week I'm going to make sure my article goes, and then I chop it up and it goes on LinkedIn as well. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I'm doing the thing every day. This is a little vague. Doll was saying, let me work on some clarity things. I need to get on her calendar because I don't know what to do. Let me make sure I'm on there at 6:00 on Thursday so I can get in for everybody else. So I can work on this part, even if I got to go. Like you're doing the thing. You're rolling the dice every single day. You're just putting more and more reps out, more and more seeds out in the energetic field. So that'll spark a thought in somebody else's mind that you weren't even there. That will spark an idea. 2 months from now, you'll have an idea that you couldn't have had because you hadn't been researching and reviewing this material for your brain to just boop, boop, put it together for you. You know what I'm saying? You open yourself up to the infinite when you put in the reps. When you hold back from doing what you're supposed to be doing and you just kind of sit there and one day of crashing out turns into 2 weeks of crashing out. And I just take a 6-hour lunch break every single day. And I'm just playing with my Canva and watching, other people's videos and feeling bad because I know I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But okay, and I got all these notes in my notebook and I throw the notebook in the back of my truck. And then I say I'm gonna get to it, but I need a vacation. If I could just get a vacation, then I would go on the beach and then I would read all these notes. And you never incorporate it into your daily life. You're not putting the seeds out. And so the comments, the questions, the calls, I was thinking about you, the introductions, I just ran into this person, all of those, all that serendipity, you're not tapping in if you're not doing the cadence and you're not do it again, show up, do it again. I probably told y'all the story of how Aquagenuity came to be when I stepped back from that and then stepped back from that. And then how did I even meet this person? And then where did that come from? And then what conversation and what panel was I on? You could never plan this. But if you're not in the energy, you never get that outcome. And so people want you to believe that, business is like this thing. I wake up, I get discovered, somebody gives me an investment, and now I'm rich and famous. And that's not how it works. It's the consistency of showing up, putting the deposit in the energetic field, in line with what we know works. These are proven frameworks, in line with neuroscience. So you don't have to cheat and steal and lie and do all of this to get money. You don't have to do all of that. And if you do those things, you're putting in the work to have these outcomes. It just is how it happens. It's like, at what moment does the baby grow? He was a toddler and now he's 8. Like, you can't see that. It's just happening every day. And that's how your business is. Okay. So I'm not saying so much about volume, but I am saying the ways that we can show up and the different things that we have the choice to do now that we have these devices and these people work for us. This is infinite. This is abundance has been brought to our doorstep. Okay. Consistency is a byproduct of your volume, your cadence, you're showing up. You do it again, you do it again, you do it again, you do it again. Now it's going to get you more consistent results because you've done the thing more often. Like I was using the example of being an athlete. When you first start playing, you suck. You're on the court, dribbling, traveling. You can't dribble, it's all type of stuff. You shoot the air ball, all of this is going on, but you keep showing up. You don't quit after the 10th game and kick the field. This game sucks. You keep showing up. So if you find that you're showing, you might make a sale once every 2 to 5 weeks or something. One good person want to buy something from you every 6 months or whatever. There's nothing necessarily wrong with your offer or, the idea of what you want to do anyway. But you have to compress. This is why I treat it like a video game. For those who are streaming, shout out to y'all. It's a lot of y'all over there today. This is a video game. Entrepreneurship is a game. 3 levels: motion, momentum, mastery. Get in motion. Cast your net. That's your 5-star pitch. How you talk to humans. Go talk 1-to-1 to 50 to 100 humans and just get feedback, data, and keep tweaking your pitch until when you speak, you know what type of person to speak to, and you're getting a pretty consistent result. Boom. Now you graduate to level 2. Instead of 1-to-1, we're going 1-to-many. This is your network. So now I can stand on the stage. I can get on a podcast. I can leverage my social media. I can write articles. I could do different things where my same energy that I would use talking to somebody 1-to-1, I now stand up and I talk to 250 people at the same time instead of one person. So I'm able to scale. This is the volume that I'm talking about. This is why it's a privilege. It's a bank card. It's more access to more money when you can write an article and send an email newsletter and do a video. And again, this was not possible 5 years ago. These AI tools, these people, before they, destroy the planet, we need to hurry up and run faster because they work for you right now. Something that used to take you 7 hours, you can do in 20 minutes. If you have the constraints, if you have this is how it needs to go, not just overwhelmed by the possibility. So we got to flip our mentality where we're going to lock in. I'm going to learn this thing from my coach. I'm going to learn how to do this one skill, because if I could dribble better, if I could keep control of this ball, and I could do a lot of different things on the other side, but I get to the other end of the basketball court. So let me lock in until I get this dribbling. It's uncomfortable for me right now, but if I keep going, boom, now I got that tucked in. Now this plate is spinning, bam. So now we add the next thing. I got my articles going. My LinkedIn posts are coming from those articles. Amazing. Now, let me go over here and work on this video. What am I nervous about? What is the problem? Where am I going to film it? What am I going to do? Turn on the thing and just do it. You don't have to post it. Just do it. 6 to 8 minutes. Somewhere in this 100-day challenge, I told you exactly what to do in the video. How to hook it, the call to action, the lesson, all the stuff. And if we missed it, of course, you have access to it. But just do it. And then, okay, that's uncomfortable for me. This is new. Oh my God. She told, okay, my offer, I was talking like this, but now she said, change that. Okay. And so it might be uncomfortable for a little while, but after a while, okay, I got this. So now I could do the same lesson for the week, video, article, LinkedIn, got a little carousel. Y'all, I found this little tool yesterday. It'll take anything. Like, let's say you made a YouTube video, or let's say you were watching a YouTube video about a topic you want to talk about, and you put it in the little prompt, and it bloop, 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 and you could use your regular Gemini. I don't even think you have to have the paid one, and it'll turn it into, one of those carousels, like 6 or 8 slides, bloop, 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 just like that. It's another little tool. You got to set it up. I'm doing it right now. It's taking me like 4 hours because I created an audience avatar. I told y'all how to do that briefly, and it's in Social Media Master too. But and I go in there and I'm answering all these detailed questions about who are you serving? Because remember, we start with the people, the roadmap. But after you finish, you set this thing up one good time. You tell it, this is the topic I want to talk about, boop, boop, boop. And it's going to write the script and give you the hooks and give you the call to action and do the whole thing. Bloop, 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 bloop. Then it has a report at the end. So after you go in there and edit it to make sure it's sounding like you need it to sound, it's going to train itself next time. Do it like this. So every time you use it, it gets better. 20 minutes. Video script, done. LinkedIn post, done. You know what I'm saying? We're in a moment in time where we can actually achieve this level of volume and be outside in a way that shouldn't just be such a burden for us. So the biggest part of the friction is our mentality about it. And so that's why I create this space, because we have total immersion. We can have the dialogue and the different things, so that this is the new normal. And then you could pick one out of, let's say I gave you 20 things that you can apply. Pick one, keep doing that until you got it running. Then go to the next one until you got it running. After a while, you're going to be able to cook a 7-course meal, and it's not going to feel like anything to you. You see what I'm saying? That's where we're headed. So volume, instead of it being volatile and I don't know what results I'm going to get, if you keep doing it and get more volume, more reps, you'll get to the place where it's consistent. It feels easier. It feels lighter. It's not a big deal. Go for it, Asia.
I was just going to say that really helped when you guys were talking to me and Desta came and said, talking about the spinning plates.
Yes.
And that really put that image in my head about hey, you don't have to try to do everything all at once.
Mm-hmm.
You just do one thing and then add on something else. So I'm just kind of like an all or nothing type person.
Mm-hmm.
So that really put a lot into perspective for me, and that's what I've been doing, and it really has been helping me just kind of keep plugging along.
I love that. Yeah. I think I want to say, I don't remember who first was talking to me like that years ago. And I was like, oh, yeah, I see that. You get this one going and then you do the next. Totally changed my life. And that's kind of where the elephant diet came from, because it's like you break it down into pieces. It's like, but I want to finish it all now. Like that's the kind of way, that's the way that I work. If I'm working on a project, I want to sit down and not get up till I finish the entire thing. And you're like 17 hours later. It's like, no, that's not real life. Like you have other stuff to do. So break it up, show up every day, work on it a little bit. 2 weeks, it'll still be done.
Yeah, and me and my partner kind of bump heads on that because he's like, "Oh, just work on one thing until you're done." And I'm like, "Dude, I got this, and this. I got all these irons in the fire, and it's just not. It doesn't make logical sense for me to try to like do all of this all at once because I'll be sitting here for days, and then I have only accomplished one thing."
Yeah. And it's
So,
like, we're not in college, you know what I'm saying? We passed that time, the time of life where you could just, I'm only taking 4 classes, I'm gonna lock myself in the library, and I'm just, I'm pulling all-nighters, all this kind of stuff. We got babies and we got all this kind of stuff to do. So you have to be able to break it up. Otherwise, you would never get anything done. People do sabbaticals and people get fellowships and stuff like that so that they could stop doing everything else and just focus on one thing. If that's not your life, then you have to be able to break it up and keep showing up for, let's say, 4 priorities plus your daily regular obligations until you get one of them done. Now you got some space to put something else, right? So with that being said, I will give you guys a way to think about challenging yourself. If you want to go faster, if you feel like, man, I know I could lock in a little bit more, but I'm not sure how to really approach it. And I know we keep talking about the elephant diet and all this kind of stuff. Another framework that you can maybe use that might be helpful to some of you in honor of the 100-day challenge, day 97, is like the rule of 100. And if 100 is too high for you, do 50. Pick a number. Okay. But here's what I mean. You could wake up and say, if what you really want to focus on is, I need to talk to more humans, I need more touch points because I know what to say now. I know that my offer is clear. I know that when I talk to people, they're excited and whatever. So I just need more people so I can hurry to make some money because I got to hit this deadline or whatever. You could say, again, if this is too much for you, pick another number, 25, 50. Okay. You could say, I'm going to call 100 people. I'm going to do outreach to connect with 100 people every day. So that could be warm, cold, that could be phone calls, emails, people who open your email newsletter, people who see your post, voice notes that you leave people, text messages, whatever. So pick a number. If 100 is too big, pick another number. I'm going to reach out to 10 people today. 5 people today. I gave y'all the big 5. I told you only do 5. I don't know if people have committed to that yet. But pick a number and have real outreach. I'm not really going to count social media for that, but at this point, have real outreach with real humans. And don't let yourself go to bed, basically, until you hit that number. Okay, another way to think about it, 100, or if you pick another number, 100 minutes of content creation per day. Because I know if I start, I got the clarity, I got the hooks, it's working for me. I feel like I know what I'm saying. I got a good call to action. I can drive people back to this offer. I think I'm locked in. Spend 100 minutes creating, researching, writing, scripting, posted, whatever, editing, publishing your stuff. And if 100 minutes is too much, commit to another number. Not thinking about it, actually doing it and putting it out. And just hit your number, every day or 5 days a week, however, whatever days you work. We're not really running ads, but you could choose that as a challenge. Just find something that you want to do and commit to a certain number of reps every day of doing that thing, or a certain number of minutes working on that thing. Okay. You're gonna see it works. It works. You could even spend, I'm going to spend 20 minutes a day commenting on other people's posts. 20 minutes a day, just looking around at all these different communities and looking for ideas and whatever. You'd be surprised. You just want to get more reps out here in the energetic field. Okay. So you can judge yourself, audit yourself. What's your current volume of outreach? Times that you're making contact with other human beings who are able to hear and see your thought leadership. Of course, all of this is in the big 5, but I'm giving you a different way to think about it. Pick one play. If you got a playbook, if I've given you 100 plays over the 100 days, pick a play that you want to run and make sure you run that play every day. Pick a number of reps, a number of times you want to do something, a number of minutes, and make sure you hit that number every day, because now we're focused on volume. We know what to do. We've dealt with our mindset. We're not, being our own worst enemy. We're doing that. We know that the mechanics, the volume is going to get us to a level of consistency and proficiency with these things if we commit to doing them every day. And that's the whole prescription. So I'm done. Comments, questions, concerns, challenges, feedback, perspective, personal story time. And then we're going to go to anybody who wants to share our new precise way of explaining our offer in just a few seconds or a few sentences. Anybody got any questions or feedback before we do that? Hey, Tracy, go for it.
Hey, I like this new number count. I'm going to go and take that with calling people and inputting people on my CRS, which I've never started. So that's going to be where I'm at, but I can create a cadence with that.
Awesome. It's amazing, y'all. Just putting the seeds out, putting the energy out. I'm telling you, I'm not here to motivate you. We got better stuff to do. I'm telling you how it works. This is the mechanics.
I'm going to pick 5. I'm going to just pick 5. I got 5 on it. Okay. 5 for calling people, 5 for putting people on my CRS a day.
I love it. Let's go. Anybody else? If not, Latanja, come on. I want to hear what you got to say. You're excited. I love some clarity. Clarity leads to confidence. You see what I'm saying? She ready.
Yes, it does. I'm excited, and I'm excited to do the 20 minutes of commenting on other people's posts. I can do that. And so what I have here is that there's two items I want to choose from, or perhaps go deeper. The first one is I help women who have spent years showing up for everyone else, mothers, wives, and caregivers over 35, who are still waiting for their own turn, finally take the seat at the head of their own table or the head of their own life, so that they can wake up on an ordinary Tuesday and make a decision for themselves without explaining it, apologizing for it, or talking themselves out of it first, instead of spending another decade shrinking, stalling, and silently suffering through a life that was built around everyone else's comfort. That's the first one.
Let me tell you what I want you to do.
Okay.
Give it to me. Just give me that whole thing again, because I'm trying not to jump up and disappear.
Okay. Women who have spent years showing up for everyone else, mothers, wives, and caregivers over 35, who are still waiting for their own turn, finally take the seat at the head of their own life, so that they can wake up on an ordinary Tuesday and make a decision for themselves without explaining it, apologizing for it, or talking themselves out of it first, instead of spending another decade shrinking, stalling, and silently suffering through a life that was built around everyone else's comfort.
I mean, I just feel like you in people business right now. You know what I'm saying? Which is amazing. That's the point. But I definitely feel like people will feel seen. How do you feel about it?
I feel that it pretty much goes into all of the points that we were looking at in terms of the 4-part breakdown.
Yes.
I have this one other one really quickly here. Okay. I help women over 35 finally put themselves on the calendar and keep the appointment. Not because I read about it, because I lived it. I was a people pleaser, the enabler, the one drowning in guilt and resentment. And I found my way out. Now I walk beside you as living proof that if you want the change, you can have it.
Oh, people are gonna feel like they want to feel. It's gonna work.
Good.
Oh,
good.
this is great. This is great. So the
I'm
first one, we can try to remove any word that we don't need, but the message, the essence of it is there.
Good.
And then the
Good.
second one, I like it because it's personal and it's, it's like you're not alone.
Right.
All of that. And I feel like you can use both. There's a way to merge both, right? I feel like in different settings and contexts, you could go whichever way with it. I would be excited if I were you. I'd be like, I want to try this on 20 people. How fast can I say this to 20 people and get a reaction? You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then because we know it's going to work, we want to then think about, are there ways that we can clarify the next thing you want them to do, right? The free or the entry level thing that you want them to buy. Yeah. Let's see if we need to work on the language. So this is where we use our GPT of choice in light of, this is my new clarity. This is my purpose statement. I'm going to give you, it's like 100 questions. It's a lot, but I'm going to give you the audience avatar profile questionnaire that I use. It goes so in depth, right? If you take your mission, what we just did, and then who your audience is, and then tell it, okay, I need to now make this more precise, how, what I'm offering them, right? The language around the free offer and the this and the that, so that it's a no-brainer for them to click through. Once you talk to them like this, they're going to be excited. And then the next step, as we know, is not sign up for the Lady Academy, right?
Right.
So we want to start practicing the one you just did.
Okay.
With people. And then let's start working on the precision and the clarity around, I guess, the language, the descriptive language for what your next step is for them, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I think if we tighten it up all the way through, it's going to work. But the beginning, we already know that's about to work. And let's go prove it.
Awesome. I could do that.
Yes. Because you just get their email address and tell them you on the list and, just do that.
Okay.
And then we're going to work on precision of the links and the things that we're offering them as the next step until that works too. And then the next thing.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I'm excited. When is your next Lady Academy, by the way?
Actually, I am doing it on a quarterly basis. I haven't come up with a date. I'm working on an 8-piece collection for the House of Johnny Ruth, a fashion show I'm in on June 7th. So, coming up, but I will be working on the quarterly. Perfect.
Yep. So they need just some way to stay engaged and community, feeling really tangible, and just the same as you in their business. When you just said that, they need to feel like that from you once, twice a week, and what you're doing on the show every day. It all needs to feel that present and that personal. And so they'll stay active in your community.
Personal. Yeah. I do that. Just going through those pain points helps me on the show.
Yes. That's all you got to do is talk about what they feel and what they're going through, what they tried before, and all of that. And that's a perfect show because they feel seen. They have a space to sit there and have that conversation. Where else can they have that conversation, right?
Thank you so much for the clarity.
Absolutely. I'm excited, y'all. It works, y'all. It's neuroscience. Anybody else want to share your precision statements, your offered explanation, your umbrella cathedral statement of what you do for people?
I got mine.
Okay.
All right. I help individuals and families who want to eat better but are tired of choosing between flavor, convenience, and real nourishment. When they work with me, food stops being a guessing game. They go from eating whatever's quick or settling for bland, overly processed healthy options to enjoying meals that are bold, satisfying, and actually support their body. They feel more energized, more confident in what they're eating, and more connected to their food again. What makes my approach different is that I'm not just cooking, I'm applying science. I break down ingredients, techniques, and flavor profiles in a way that restores what modern food has lost. Everything is soy and dairy free and intentionally crafted to nourish without sacrificing taste. This isn't about trends. It's about building meals that work for your body and your lifestyle. And I do all of that without clients having to stress about what to cook, how to balance meals, or whether they're missing nutrients. They don't have to spend hours researching, prepping, or compromising. Because at the end of the day, food isn't just flavor, it's science. And when you get it right, everything else starts to feel better too.
It's a movement. This is a movement. You don't sound like anybody else. It's very, very clear what you do. I know you're talking to me. You know what I mean? All the questions are answered. And when you answer all the questions, it's neuroscience. They're going to want to take another. Well, what you mean? So where can I get this food? Can I try something out? Can you come to my house? Like, do you do events? Like, whatever they want after that is going to be another step after that. Do you see what I'm saying? It's brilliant. Brilliant. And so these statements that we're using, these cathedral statements that we're building, like I said, as we start using these tools and GPTs and stuff, that needs to be in there every time. This is my mission. This is who I serve. This is what, da, 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 da. So it's got a constraint now when it's helping you with content, or it's helping you with ideas, or it's helping you with strategy or whatever. It's not just anything in the world. That sounds good. It's so laser focused. Everything that comes after that will be laser focused too. It's amazing. I love it. So now we want to memorize it, embody it, and practice it with as many people as humanly possible. So you can prove that when you speak like this, it works.
Okay. Yeah, I've been definitely incorporating the food isn't flavor, it's science in my taglines lately. Mm-hmm. Especially when I do the From the Lab on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure that people know me for that. Like, that's my line. They know I'm going to say it.
Yep. And then are you going live, or you doing reels, or both?
I only do the reels for the From the Lab, but in regards to going live, I do that when I do like interviews and stuff for the Rooted in Flavor experiences.
Okay. Well, as you get good at this, I forget how long you got, 2 minutes or less, a minute and a half or whatever on the reel. But you got longer than that. You can do like 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, you can actually do up to 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
On reel.
So, because I know some people be trying to stay short, but I'm like, no, you can do that. But anyway, how long are yours usually?
They usually last about no more than 2 minutes, 30 seconds, up to 3 minutes.
Right. So what I want you to do is, maybe you took like 1 or 2 sentences out of what you just shared, but basically get to where you could say that in about 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And say it in most of your posts.
Okay.
Because the story of what you do is now what we are transmitting. We want people to start to be able to say it to other people too.
Okay.
So just like you're saying, flavors, more in the science, it's not just flavor science. A little bit more of that language you just gave me to expound on that, some version of that every time you post.
Okay.
That's going to make it portable for people. I love it. Somebody gonna go tell their husband, look, we need to do something. We need to work with her, because you know how you always complain that I give you healthy food and don't taste good. Well, I done found the girl on Instagram. She got this. She got a lab coat. You know what I mean? Like, this is how it starts to travel. Love it. Anybody else? I know we're all working on it. I will review what we went over yesterday. I will do that again tomorrow, so that if you need help or support on it, we can workshop it again. And then I'm also tomorrow going to tell you another methodology, because I told you the one, well, all you need is 3 things: YouTube, a digital store, and a community. I'm gonna give you another one for how you can go make 6 figures online using the tools that we talked about. It's the clarity though, all that language, and then you put it into whatever format. So if I show up on LinkedIn, I'm looking for this. If I show up on YouTube, I'm used to this. If I show up on Instagram, I'm used to this. We'll meet them everywhere. And our system will be out here working. It's up to y'all. Let's go work. So any more questions before we jump off? Happy Tuesday, all things. It's still a new year, y'all. Happy New Year. Pray for the country. Pray for the nations out here. Because again, I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, red, green, or blue. This man has now crossed the line. he is now showing signs of mental illness, and I'm not being funny. Mental illness is real, and we've gone a bit too far. We're if you know what singularity is, I don't know if you know what that is. It's like when scientists try to describe what happens on the other side of a black hole. Like, what happens if you enter this space? They don't know. They call that singularity. We're here now. We're at the point where we don't know what's going to happen. So that's why it's all the more important to just follow your intuition, have discernment, but most importantly, don't ignore the things that you know that you need to implement, because what you do now is going to have you prepared 6 months from now, or when something else comes, you'll have, money coming in, or community or support or whatever that you're going to need to be all right, because it's a lot going on out here. So we'll talk about it more in the WhatsApp group. If y'all need to get in touch with me, you go to bettercalldog.com. If you are unauthorized or you call on somebody else's name and phone number, so because you didn't know that I knew it was you, then you get on there, it's gonna be a problem and you'll get blocked off the stream. So don't do that. But for everybody else, y'all have home training, and I love it. So I'm excited for us to stay winning in these entrepreneurial streets. So I'll see y'all tomorrow, 2:00. Until then, we gotta go. I gotta go. We out.